Good morning, all of you. Let us start the class. Your friends may come and join. Okay. As far as this class is concerned, I'm going to deal with how we can define the managerial economics, what we're trying to mean about managerial economics, and how it differs from traditional economics, and finally, the features of managerial economics. Only these four concepts today we are going to discuss. Let us start with the definition. There are many definitions, but here I have given two definitions. Suppose if they ask in section A, you can write these two definitions because this is in practice. The first definition by Milton H. Spencer and Louis Siegelman. According to them, I'll read out, just listen. Managerial economics is the integration of economic theory with business practices for the purpose of facilitating decision making and forward planning by management. Actually, this definition is considered to be a conducive one. Why? Because very clear picture as given by the Spencer and Siegelman. You can split this particular definition into five parts. One is what is managerial economics? Managerial economics is that is one part. The second segment is integration of economic theory and business practice. This is the second part. Why we have to do for the purpose of, that is the third part. And fourth one is facilitating decision making and forward planning. This is the fourth part. Who is doing? By the management. So if you divide this definition into five, it's easy to memorize it. For example, managerial economics is what we have to say, why it is. So we have to integrate two. What are they? One is economic theory and business practice. So the second part is the integration of economic theory with business practices. Why we have to do? So we have to add the phrase for the purpose of two things we have to do. What are they? Facilitating the decision making and forward planning. Who is doing this? By the management. So the definition goes like this. Managerial economics is the integration of economic theory with business practices for the purpose of decision making and forward planning by the management. This is the best definition for the managerial economics. One more definition I have given, one by Brinkman and Papas. This definition is very simple, but whenever they ask to define, you better to use Spencer and Siegelman. The other definition is managerial economics is the application of economic theory and methodology to the business administration and practices. Whenever you want to do a business, this managerial economics is very helpful. Why? Because we can use the theory and methodology of economics in the business. For that, you have defined a very simple statement. Managerial economics is the application of economic theory and methodology to business administration and practice. So whenever they ask, you write these two definitions. One by Spencer and Siegelman, other one is Brigham and Papas. Now let us go for what we mean by managerial economics. There are basic features are there, so we should know what is it. Based on that definition, we can extract these five sentences. First of all, it integrates two. What are they? One is the economic theory and business practice. This is a subject which will integrate the economic theory and business practices. That is called managerial economics. The second one is the managerial economics facilitate the decision making process in business. Suppose when we are doing the business, we are bound to take some decision. For that particular decision making process, this managerial economics is very useful. The third one is definitely the managerial economics will enhance the business practice through forward planning. Why? Because we are not only taking a decision and we are able to implement it. That is called forward planning. The fourth one is managerial economics is a subject. It's audible? Hello? Is it audible? It is a subject
Yes,
used for
sir.
the management. Thank you. It's a subject used for the management and business division. Definitely, compared to other type of economic like fiscal, labor, HR, all these things, the manager economics always give better skill to take a decision in the management. Why? Because it is very helpful to take a decision in a business. And finally, it is application of economic theory and methodology in business administration. So these are the five elements of managerial economics, how it is used. Suppose what are the uses of managerial economics? What do you mean by managerial economics? Why we need managerial economics? These kind of questions, you can answer this particular 5 points. What are they? The very first one is it integrates the economic theory and practice, and it will be helpful for decision making practice in a business, and it enhances the forward planning, and it is a subject dealing with both management and business decision. And finally, the application of economic theory and methodology in the business. So if you write these 5 points, it will be apt answer for what are the elements of managed economics, or why we need managed economics. That question, this particular 5 points will be very useful. One thing we should keep in mind, this managed economics not only include the economic concept alone, it includes non-economic concept, because the subject which is helpful to take a decision in a business, like accounts, maths, statistics, or all the other subject, it will be included in the managed economic. Why? Because this subject is meant for taking a decision in a business. So the managed economics includes both economic concept and non-economic concept. For that, first we should know how it differs from traditional economics. There is one subject called economics, but this particular managed economic is of recent past, only 60 years old. This particular subject, how it differs from the tradition. So I have listed some points. When they ask in section B, what are the difference between managed economics and traditional economics? Otherwise, they may ask, distinguish between micro and macroeconomic. Even that question, if you answer this particular part, that will do. So I am differentiating the managed economics with the traditional economic with these 10 points. What are they? Nature, approach, and factors of production, and how it is remunerated, and what are the content in the subject, what are the concept included in that particular subject, and what is the purpose of the subject, how this optimization technique is used in managed economics, how it differs from traditional economics. So all these things we can able to distinguish in this particular part. 1 minute, somebody is entering. Let's start with the nature. Keep it in mind, the managed economics are always micro in nature, but the traditional economics both micro and macro, because it's a few thousands years old traditional economics. This is only 60 years old subject. It is micro for an individual or an individual firm or an industry, how to take a decision. For that only this subject is framed. So it is micro in nature. But in traditional economics, it is not micro. It includes monetary economics, fiscal economics, agriculture economics, industry. All the economics is included in that. So it is not only micro but also the macro. The second difference between manager and traditional is it is normative approach. That means it is application oriented. But traditional economics is a theory, not only theory but also the application. So it has a wide scope. Then compared to factors of production, there are 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, organization. The traditional economics use all 4 factors of production, but managed economics concentrate only in the 4th factors of production. That is, it does not give importance for the land, labor, capital. It gives importance for the organization. Why? Because it is micro in nature, and the purpose of managed economics is to take a decision in a business and to how to make the business effective, more profit, less cost, more revenue, less expenditure. This is the object. So it never bother about the other factors of production, only the organization. Then there are respective remuneration for that particular factors of production. For land, we have to pay the rent. For labor, we have to pay the wage. For capital, we have to pay the interest. For organization, we have to pay the profit. So these 4 factors, as it includes only the 4th factor of production, it ignores the other 3. So as far as the factors of remuneration is concerned, it concentrates only on profit. But traditional economics, rent theory, wage theory, interest theory, profit maximization theory, all the theories will be included in the traditional economics. Then as far as the content is concerned, what are the aspects required for business is included in managed economics. Not only economic concepts, but also the non-economic concepts. So This particular subject deal only with the business decision. Some tools and techniques which are useful for the business will be included in managed economics. That is the content. But in case of traditional economics, it includes everything. Both the theory and practical aspects will be included. So based on this particular, the corollary is the managed economics include both economic concept as well as non-economic concept, which are useful for the business. But in traditional economics, only economic concept you can see. Suppose any other non-economic concept, it is not traditional, it is managerial. So for the purpose of taking a good decision in a business, we have framed one particular subject called managed economics. Therefore, the major portion is economics, but the rest of the portion is from the other discipline. Then subject, it decides the other subjects also. Why? Because whenever there is a need for statistics, it will be included. Whenever there is a need for accounts, it will be included. For mathematics, operational research, and all other management concepts which are useful for business will be included. So it includes more subjects. But traditional economics always consists of only economic theory and practice. Then we'll go for the purpose. The purpose of managed economics to make an effective decision in a business. But the aim of traditional economics is not only for business, economic growth, economic development, per capita income, national income accounting, macroeconomic indicators, monetary policy, fiscal policy. So the aim is very wide. Then optimization. This particular technique is very useful in managed economics. Either we can minimize the cost or maximize the profit or revenue. So optimization technique is applied in managed economics. But as far as the traditional economic concern, we are not concentrating more on profit because it's a social motive. Social welfare and developmental activity will be taken place. So optimization technique is absent in economics. Then finally, the scope. Definitely, the traditional economics is a few thousand years old. It has a very wide scope of application. But this managed economics is very limited. Why? Because only for the business it is useful. So these 10 points will make you understand what is managed economics is. Suppose if they ask in section B, first you write a definition and write few sentences about managed economics, and then these are the factors which are considered to differentiate the traditional economics with the managed economics. Write this particular table. Definitely all 6 marks will be awarded to you. Finally, we'll complete with this feature of managed economics. When you write the second column of this particular thing, that will be the feature of managed economics. Why? Managed economics is practical. It is realistic. It is helpful to take a decision in business. The second one is this is basically it is not an art subject. It's a science subject. Why? Because we are applying tools and techniques in the business. It not only theory subject, it is also have a practical application, and it is micro in nature, and it provides room for the macroeconomics. Individual income is calculated. If you aggregate these things, national income accounting, inflation, deflation also will be taken into account, because these are all the indicators for taking a decision in a business. These are all macroeconomic concept, but it has been included in managed economics. Apart from that, this particular subject not only deal with the economic concept, but also the non-economic concept which are useful in a business. Compared to traditional economics, this particular subject includes all technical know-how. You give more importance for research and development. And finally, it includes some concept in mathematics, some concept from engineering, some concept from accounting, some concept from statistics, some concept from psychology. All this subject will be included. Why we are including? Which are useful for taking a decision in a business. So these are all the features of managerial economics. With that, I'm winding up the class. This is the very first class. So I have given two section A and two section B answers. Go through it. I will share this PPT to you. And all of you, please buy one new notebook. And every day we are going to discuss some economic concept. Now, kindly enter in the evening. Okay. May God bless you. I'm winding the class. Before that, all of you type your name in the chat box, because based on that only I have to give the attendance. You can type your name.
சார் காலேஜ் எப்போ சார் ஓபன் பண்றாங்க? சரணா, டேய் சரணா, ஆடுகளம் சரணா.
These are the people attend the class. I'm just sharing the screen. Totally 18 people are present today. Okay, I'm ending the class.